buried bunker and the buried secrets of the soldiers who fought and died here.
We opened like a time chest.
Look at those. I ain't sniffing that.
The Eastern Front of World War II, where Hitler and Stalin's armies fought to the death. Millions of soldiers and their weapons lie rotting under the battlefields where they fell. 4 men, determined to combine their skills and unearth this history. Craig, military tactics.
I'm a historian and a military officer.
That's a bunker.
When other people see fields and trees, I see a battlefield. I see fighting positions. I see fields of fire.
Chris, gadgets.
Digging is like a science.
Didn't I say the ground felt hollow?
It's knowing your terrain, your target, and most of all, your kit. Would you bury a dead body right outside your door?
Stephen, relics and rust.
Look at the condition of that!
Give me a piece of World War II scrap and I can identify what it was, who made it, and in what year. This is the fellow we're looking for.
And Adrian, the man with the Eastern Front in his blood.
That is the German uniform. I'm half British and I'm half Polish, and to me, these digs are personal. I literally got goosebumps on my back.
They are racing against time to save the history from the ground before it's lost forever.
Let's get digging. I love days like this.
There's tons of rusted treasure waiting for us.
May 1945, Adolf Hitler was dead, and Germany's army, the Wehrmacht, was being crushed across the Eastern Front by Stalin's victorious forces. In Saldus, in western Latvia, the desperate men of the German 18th Army were holed up in bunkers and trenches encircled by the Soviets. Surrender, also known as capitulation, was inevitable. Most bunkers here have been opened and looted of their contents long ago, but the diggers have heard local rumors of an underground chamber sealed up and left exactly as it was at the time of German surrender. If it hasn't been touched since, it's a potential treasure trove. A snapshot of German army life on the very point of capitulation in May 1945. The team's mission is to find the bunker, open it, and give its contents to the Latvian War Museum. Chris, who had gone off to ask the local villagers for clues, has come back to see how the guys are doing.
Farm gave me a lift.
Seriously?
Awesome, yeah. What you got?
But we have dug trenches everywhere trying to find another bunker.
The trail on the ground is dead, so everyone is hoping Chris has some news to lift the mood.
When the farmer was giving me a lift up this way, yeah, he said years ago he was ploughing the field and there was lots of logs which looked just like these logs in the middle of his field, and he's just left them there.
Do you think you can find it again?
Well, he seems convinced.
Okay. Tell you what, guys. We're burning daylight. Sun's down in a couple hours. This is not a room. Let's go check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
sounds like a plan.
cool. Good idea.
The site where the farmer said he saw the logs underground is in a cow field, half a kilometre down from the hilltop bunker where the team had been digging. Committing the last 2 hours of the day to a story from years ago is a gamble.
Instinct tells me we go with the local knowledge. This guy says there's a bunker in his field. I'm going to go look for it.
Hey, Chris. Is it over there?
Yeah, hit it round about this area. Right, okay, so the farmer said right next to the pile of cow dung, which is right here as far as I can see, and I can't see any more piles around.
I don't know why anybody would put a bunker here. Terrible place for a bunker. I mean, look up. See the plane there? All it takes is one plane going by and you can see what's here, so.
Could there not have been trees here?
This has probably been a farm for quite some time.
If we've got even the slimmest lead is...
Okay. True. I'm just gonna say, looking here, look out there, what do you see?
Hills.
High ground.
Yeah.
This is the worst place to stop and dig a trench.
We were facing a real digger's dilemma. What are we going to do then, boys?
Check it.
Dig
What, we
it, check
got-
it.
45 minutes of daylight.
Right, should we crack on then? Come on. Time's a wasting. Let's go.
I tell you what, it would have to be next to a great big steaming pile of poo, wouldn't it?
Hey, Chris, did he say logs?
Logs, yeah, logs.
He didn't say how far down, did he?
No, my Latvian's a bit sketchy.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
logs.
Yeah, there you go. There's the logs he was talking about.
Well, it's one log.
This is exactly.
What's this?
It's a branch.
Branches. So if you were building a bunker, would you leave the branches sticking out like that?
I'm at an utter loss for words that we would dig here and find a log in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, we're running out of daylight. Let's
Let's
dig
get
more.
cracking.
Okay, go there.
There is more.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, there's another one.
Oh, there is another one.
Yeah, there's loads.
What the?
Why would there be tree logs on that sort of depth?
The only reason there's going to be tree logs at that sort of depth is some sort of structure, isn't there? We could actually be onto something.
I'm still thinking like a fence, something civilian. There's no reason to put a bunker in the middle of the field.
There's something really big down here on the end of his shovel, because he can't get it up, look.
Where me and Craig were standing earlier, he got
Yeah.
snagged on something.
Look, so look, there's something
Yes,
there. There's a
yes.
log coming across here.
See, look, one next to the other. It's like a roof.
With excitement mounting, the whole day is now riding on Chris's tip-off from the farmer.
Last thing I wanted now was to look stupid. I want it to be a bunker. I want it to be a bunker more than
There's like,
anything.
man.
Could be an outhouse, could be a cow house, could be a house.
Let me quickly grab a spade.
The only thing to do was to get in and get a closer look. Look.
What? There's space down there.
What does that tell you?
Oh, yeah.
Buying a lottery ticket! I'm buying a lottery ticket. That's it.
So the mud was really, really loose, and it was really, really easy just to pass that spike through. It means there's open space there, which is a result.
That's a German bunker, no doubt about it.
It's bunker shaped, it's bunker sized, it's bunker deeped, and I have no idea why it's here.
But dusk is now approaching fast, and the diggers aren't going to throw any light on the mystery bunker tonight.
It was so frustrating, and I could almost smell the relics, but I just couldn't touch them.
Hey guys, it's getting dark. This isn't safe. Let's come back tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
I know. Dream about it. We'll be back in the morning.
Really, really excited. Very excited.
This is what I do this for. That place has never been touched since the end of World War II. It is going to be jammed with stuff.
Helmets, bits of uniforms, badges, ammunition, guns, anything that was used in a warfare.
Could be machine guns, there could be dead Russians, there could be dead Germans. We're gonna go home, get some sleep, and come back bright early in the morning and start to dig.
Last night, the team uncovered a mysterious Wehrmacht bunker.
I dreamt of the bunker. I seriously dreamt of the bunker last night.
I nearly got back in the van and drove back here to dig it myself. I was so excited.
Let's just hope no one else has been there before we have.
No business is over now.
Nobody's been there.
Cool.
Well, let's get the excavator.
Where is it?
Yo!
The first job was to get the roof off.
It was like opening a huge treasure chest. We were all wondering what is going to be underneath.
He's digging.
Oh, yeah.
We're off. Well, that's deep enough for me now. I can get the kit, start detecting all this spoil as well. Yeah, what do you reckon, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
come on,
Shovels as
get
well,
them.
yeah?
Yeah.
Inside, this bunker isn't an empty space. It's full of mud that seeped in over 70 years. This could just be soil and rock, or it could be full of wartime German equipment.
Stop for 2
Can you
seconds.
just stop for a second?
Go first. You check the wall, I check how deep it goes.
This is one heck of a size bunker. It's not a little 2-3 man bunker. This is a unit, you know.
This is definitely not a fighting position, because if you get down low, you can't see anything. You can see nothing, so there's no place to shoot from. This is likely command bunker, storage bunker, definitely not communications, because again, it's too low.
What the hell is going on in this bloody bunker?
Battles round bunkers were particularly bloody, as the soldiers in the underground chambers were hard to dislodge, but once cornered were sitting ducks with no chance of escape. The Nazis developed their very own bunker-busting tool, the MP40. The diggers tested one that belongs to a local collector.
Boys, when I shoot this, I think of one thing: bunker clearing.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, what we have here is the MP40. Cool. MP stands for...
Machine pistol.
Exactly. One of the reasons that it's called a pistol, even though it looks like a rifle or a machine gun, is because it takes 9mm ammunition. That's the same ammunition they use in Lugers and P-38s. So, cuts down on German logistics. One kind of bullet. It's only full automatic.
It's quality.
But it has a slow enough cyclic rate that you can actually squeeze off single rounds quite easily. Max effective range really is about 100 meters.
The thing about this gun, guys, is this was designed to be fired when you're moving.
One of the reasons I love this gun, A, it's iconic. You look at it, one look, it's German, okay? Number two, though, it's a lot of fun to shoot. I mean, you don't necessarily even have to aim in at close range. You can start shooting in the general direction and you can sort of walk the rounds on target. So it's like pointing a flashlight.
That's what they call firing from the hip.
Basically.
Rock and roll. Today is a good day.
Yeah, that's the floorboards.
Back at the dig, the bunker is so deep the field around it is turning into a quagmire.
I mean, the field all around was just an absolute mess. It was full of really wet, sloshy mud.
Stuck.
Watch out for the nails on
Okay.
these bits of wood. They just dig around.
All you see is mud and rocks and roots, and then all of a sudden, your eye trains on something man-made and square. Here, hold this. This is something big. And I saw it. It was glinting there, barely sticking out of the mud, and so I was so excited to find it, because it meant we were in the right place. German magazine pouch. It's like a German magazine pouch.
That would be awesome, Craig.
Yeah. It's gonna grab all the mud. We're gonna bring it over.
Okay,
Look
yeah,
at
there
it.
it is.
It's a German magazine pouch. I'm almost positive. Let's see. Yep.
Wow.
German magazine pouch.
Oh, nice find, man. Nice find.
Look at that. Totally intact.
That is awesome.
Let's wash
That is
it
so
off.
cool.
Nobody's gonna drop this because they need it. This is still complete, it's still functional, and there's still ammo in it.
Oh, look how clean it is.
I know, it's
Yeah,
like
I know,
it's
it's
brand
amazing,
new.
That is fantastic.
Isn't it amazing? Bullets right there. This brings me very close to whoever it was that was fighting in this bunker. I mean, this is incredible. This is a piece of gear that someone was wearing who was sitting in this hole. So I'm absolutely excited that I found this magazine pouch, and then I hear over from the hole, "Oh guys, I found something."
Got a bayonet. I've got a bayonet.
And of course, Adrian completely upstages me.
The team have uncovered an incredible find.
It's a K98 bayonet. Yeah.
With the frog
With the frog stuff. Adrian
Ah.
found it because he's got more energy and he can dig more. So he was covering a lot more mud than I was, and finding that bayonet was epic.
So this is a K98 rifle bayonets. It is the very violent ends of the Second World War when it got to sort of like hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, wow, look at that. Wow.
The blade is pristine.
Yeah. Every soldier receives bayonet training. Put it on the end of a rifle, you can stab with it, you can slash with it, you can cut with it. It's a very, very violent weapon.
Although designed to be fixed to the end of a carabiner rifle, the K98 was most often used independent of the gun, as a utility knife for use while living and working in the field, or as a weapon of war in brutal hand-to-hand combat.
In the market, something like this, if it was in brand new condition, would be worth $300. Obviously, this is much more valuable than that here. I can tell you one thing, whoever dropped this, dropped it in a hurry. This is all kit that might have belonged to one person. This bayonet, this pouches, hold this pouch up where it would be. And you're starting to get a picture of a soldier.
When I finally had time to take a breath and actually look at what we'd found, it was fascinating. We'd recovered all sorts from that bunker.
The team haven't found any bodies, but the Germans that were in here left behind weapons and ammunition they would never have dreamed of leaving in normal circumstances. And the diggers still don't know what this bunker was for, or why it's here in the middle of an exposed cow field.
So what I suggested to Craig, let's take a look around this place. And who did I bump into? Farmer, who tipped me off about the site. Hello, how you doing?
Wow, a dog tag.
Is that German?
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Wow. Where'd you get this?
Behind the tree on the...
Yeah, great.
It's the 1st Battalion or 1st Company of Artillery Regiment 218, and this would hang around his neck from these holes, and if he died, they'd break it in half and leave half of it with his body and take the other half back.
Amazing.
This is incredible.
That is, isn't it?
Value on the market's not that much, but here it's priceless because it tells us exactly who was fighting on this field. It's going to be interesting to see if something out of that bunker matches this dog tag.
Be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be fantastic. I
Carry
can't
on.
wait to tell the guys. When the farmer showed us the dog tag and I saw that it was from an artillery unit, something in my brain clicked and I had a theory. So I had to look around and take a walk and look at the landscape.
You think what I'm thinking?
Do you see what I see?
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
Go on, you say it then. I know what you're thinking.
This is the best ground anywhere. You can see totally down that valley.
We're on a hill.
It was so obvious. It just was staring at us the whole time. All I had to do was turn around 180 degrees and look down rather than up, and it was immediately clear to me why there were bunkers in the middle of a cow field.
It is a perfect strategic stronghold.
Exactly. Suddenly, it all made sense. It might be an artillery firing position, because guess what? If the artillery guns are behind us, people coming up from the south can't see. So if you placed artillery back here where it couldn't be seen, if you placed mortars back there where they couldn't be seen, and you just lobbed them in that general direction south, I mean, everybody in that valley would be a sitting duck. And you'd put an observer right forward on this hill, and he'd just run a wire back to the gun position, and he'd just call in fire. And just look out there and pick a target. Find something. Seriously, find something.
The end of the copse of trees over there.
Yeah, so what he would do, he'd determine his position and a direction and a distance, and that's all he would need. And he'd radio that back to the gun platoon, and they would figure a firing solution. And he'd sit there and watch the rounds land, and if they were off a little bit, he would adjust them. And then once they were on target, he'd say fire, and they'd go,
Imagine the carnage. This thing, stuff blowing up everywhere and gunfire and people just getting mowed down. Imagine hearing the screams from up here. You could hear them, couldn't you?
Probably.
Wouldn't be nice.
Probably, yeah.
So now we knew that we were on a slightly raised plateau, which means the artillery would have been shooting down into the valley. It would have been a killing field down there.
And the mud of the bunker has yielded an intriguing clue that might back up Chris and Craig's discovery.
It's like a battery pack for something.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Chris just threw me this battery, and while I'm not sure what it was used for, I can just imagine that the forward observer on that hill would have been radioing or calling back or something, a fire mission here, and this battery was a part of that solution.
So this bunker may have been an 18th Army position. And as the mud clears, Stephen, with his eye for detail, can start to pick out the lost world lived by the ordinary German soldiers stationed here.
At the bottom of this bunker, we've got a bed here, so all the bedboards have collapsed onto the normal floor. Over there we've got something else, maybe a table or maybe a little stove, but when I've dug down to the floor, we've got floorboards, then we've got bricks, then we've got massive logs going this way again. In fact, there's your desk. Every World War II relic hunter's dream is to find a bunker and dig it up. That is just amazing. This axe is absolutely awesome. Do you know, they could have chopped the trees down to make this bunker with this axe. It's heavy.
Yeah, you know what this did? This is what made this trench.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what I said.
made this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still sharp.
Oh, don't cover me in mud. I'm dirty enough as it
couldn't help
is.
But the mud is the least of Stephen's worries.
Guys, I've got a hand grenade. And to me, it looks like the top of the fuse and the spoon has come off, so this is rather dangerous. It's primed and ready to go, basically.
When I looked at Stephen, He looked worried.
If this goes off now, me, you, everybody around us, forget it. We don't want any danger of anybody treading on it, knocking it, kicking it, or anything. Don't drop it. It's getting a little bit dangerous now with live grenades in here, but you can't assume that because it's been buried for 70 years that it's safe. You have to assume that it's as dangerous as it was the day it was made.
The German kit in here wasn't decayed relics like the helmets the guys found back in the woods.
The stuff in the bunker was absolutely pristine. It looked ready to use. It was in the same condition as it was dropped 70 years ago.
Holy shit, look at the condition of that!
Guys, gas mask!
Absolutely breathtaking.
Look at the condition of the filter.
They're so deep down, there's very, very little oxygen down here. So they call it anaerobic. There's no oxygen, you don't get rust. And it affects all of the metals and everything in the same way. Leather doesn't deteriorate as quickly. It's a little treasure trove waiting to be uncovered.
Incredible.
All German soldiers on the Eastern Front were issued with gas masks, containing filters that stopped the wearer breathing in gas particulates. During World War II, the Japanese and Italian armies both used gas in combat situations. But while the German and Red Army forces stockpiled mustard gas, neither side used it against each other for fear of retaliation.
It feels absolutely amazing to be the first person, alongside with Stephen, to be here after 70 years. You know, we opened like a time chest. Nothing here has been touched. Wherever they dropped the gas mask, bayonet still was laying there, and we're preserving the history and saving it from black diggers.
Black diggers are thieves who raid archaeological sites, and in Latvia they are an ever-present problem.
We had to work as fast as possible, not only because night was coming, but we'd noticed some guys across the field who had seen what we were up to. See that car over there?
Yeah, I see the car.
Right?
What are they?
You know what they are, didn't you? They're black diggers, mate. They're waiting for us to leave so they can go through this more thoroughly and get stuff and sell it.
How long have they been there?
20 minutes?
Black diggers contaminate a crime scene. That's exactly what they're doing, and you just lose all sense of history because they're only concerned about one thing. It's profit. It's not history. They want to get the artifact out of the ground, history be damned, and go sell it. And I have a problem with that.
We've got to be really thorough and just make sure there's nothing left. Because they'll have it and they'll sell it. Wave your bayonet at them.
Despite jail sentences of up to 4 years for illegal digging, this site is a potential gold mine. The team have to work as fast as they can.
When black diggers hunt on battlefields, all they're interested in is the weapons and the badges. If they find anything personal, it just gets trashed, which is heartbreaking for me. That's the history.
Tell you what.
That's a bayonet, it's another bayonet!
And a uniform. Look.
Where?
Can you see the camo?
Oh yeah, look at the camo!
There's a badge on it. That's a leather jacket.
No, it's not a jacket because it's loose. It's like a pouch or something. That is awesome. Look at that! Look at that!
There's braces.
buckle here.
There's braces. You don't sleep in your full gear. And because all of that is left, I suppose they were attacked asleep. So that's what we're finding so much
All the
stuff.
gear. That looks like a Bakelite handle on that one.
Yep, that's true.
Whoa!
Just bring it up really slowly. Bring it up really slowly.
So we've got the back.
Oh, look at
We've got the
those.
back. We've got the back.
Even right at the bottom, the bunker was throwing up clues about what might have happened here.
Slowly. This one, my friend, is pristine.
Look at those. They're called stripper clips. It's just a little strip of metal with a groove in it. Instead of putting 1, 2, 3, put 5 cartridges in, you go boom, put all 5 in with one push. Look at the condition of the leather. We need to get a move on. Let's get this
Craig,
out.
take it away from me. Slowly, on both sides.
Got it. Whoever all this belonged to left basically everything. It's like he left naked. tell you what this suggests. This suggests a hasty retreat. In other words, he got out of here quick. He didn't take anything with him. You know, it seems crazy. Maybe he grabbed a coat, but he left all his combat gear here.
The team have discovered a hidden bunker whose wartime occupants seem to have left everything behind.
Yeah. It's not a camera, is it?
Soap dish.
Has it got soap in it? Maybe it's my imagination, but it smells like
Yeah, I
soap.
think it's your imagination. I ain't sniffing that.
Look at the condition of that bloody thing.
Messed it. Do you think
Oh, nice one.
The standard German army mess tin was made of aluminium. It could hold nearly 2 litres of food, which would include canned meat, a condensed vegetable mix, and coffee. The lid was designed to be used as a frying pan. Soldiers would often scratch their name on the top so they knew whose tin was whose.
H-L-E-L something.
I-L-E-H-L-E-I-L. Yellin.
Who knows?
Yellin?
The writing isn't clear enough for us to identify who was in this bunker. But the mess tin is a direct link to one of the soldiers who served here in 1945.
Just knowing that the last person to touch this 70 years ago was a Wehrmacht soldier, it's just a tangible link to the past. This guy lived here. It was his personal stuff, and it gives you a real connection over those 70 years. It's just so personal.
Whoa! I just found a wristwatch. A guy that was running out the trench must have lost it and just dropped it in a corner. I literally got goosebumps on my back right now. This is the best
amazing.
archaeology you can get.
I'd take that over everything else.
That is amazing.
So what time does it say? Honestly, what time does it say?
You got one there and one there. 3:27.
See if there's a maker's mark. Sport.
That is absolutely amazing.
The watch has no monetary value. You couldn't get $5 for it at a flea market, but it's of immense historic value. For example, look at it and see when it stopped. It give you a clue of not only what happened, but when it happened. So it has a very particular story to tell, and for me, that makes the watch priceless.
I think we've done well in solving the mystery of this place today. What do you reckon? That view over there is amazing.
It's
as
incredible.
soon as you see that, it just all opens up in front of you. It just everything makes sense.
Yeah, that's a killing field over there, and this is the place that they would do it.
The team found the lost bunker, away from the trench line in the forest, but in the perfect position to rain maximum death on tanks and soldiers coming up from the valley below. It was probably an 18th Army artillery position, and it's proved to be an Aladdin's cave of wartime relics.
The bunker was incredible because it was a stop-motion photograph of a particular moment in time, just as the Germans had left it.
The one thing we hadn't agreed on was the biggest mystery of all. Why on earth had those men left the bunker like that, with all that stuff in it?
Did they flee under attack, or did they surrender to the Red Army? We couldn't leave that place without answering that question. What do you actually think happened here when these guys left all that stuff?
There's one thing, they got out of here in a hurry. They left all their personal gear, the watch, mess tins, gas masks. The only thing they took is their rifle. It's like they did get woken up in the middle of the night. They grabbed the only thing that they needed, which was their weapon, and they got out of the hole.
I'm sort of edging towards capitulation. The war's over. They don't need anything. They just leave it behind. Just drop the whole lot and go. Well, he could have just forgotten the watch, you know.
Well, no, if you think about it, if the watch acts as a reminder of all the hell that he's just been through, I wouldn't want it on my wrist. I want to remember that and look at that every day.
I think I agree with you guys. The weapons, they had to hand them over on capitulation, so that might be the reason why they're not there.
Yeah.
And that would explain why there's ammo pouches. You wouldn't go to attack without ammo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Adrian's got a good point.
Quite
I think I'm
feasible.
changing my mind. I mean, yeah, that really does explain the lack of weapons in a better way because they didn't take their ammo with them. So
Do you mean to say we have reached an agreement?
I think we have.
That is brilliant.
It's crazy, but true.
I think on the last day in the bunker, these guys must have been terrified, going to a prisoner of war camp after capitulation.
Over 3 million German soldiers were captured on the Eastern Front. Most were sent to work as slave labor in the Soviet Union, often in copper pits or coal mines. At least 1 in 10 never returned.
There was nothing more that we could do for the guys that once manned this bunker. But what we could do was make sure that the site and the contents of that bunker were treated with respect.
The gang of black diggers are still waiting to loot anything the guys have missed in the mud.
We had one more job to do.
Just so they can't get their hands on the stuff, should we fill it all in?
Yeah, shove it back in again. They'll never get anything out of it then.
Right, Artie, let's fill this stuff in, man.
Oh, they're perfect. Back in the hole.
The black diggers were lurking, but we got in there first, we got the stuff, and there's no chance that they can get their hands on it and it can get on the black market. Brilliant.
Being in that bunker really made me feel close to the guys who fought there.
Being the first person to stand in that bunker for 70 years is just absolutely amazing. I was in the same place that those guys were. I picked up their stuff that they last touched. It's just brilliant.
We were like kids in a toy shop today. That is what a hunt is about. Excellent.
There's nowhere to hold it, really.
You don't really want to give us a hand. Sealing a treasure trove like this after 70 years and returning every single item to the museum is something that we can really be proud of.
Job well done, boys. Let's move on to the next one.